What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Today, boy oh boy, some bombshell news are in as it relates to Manchester United. And we're going to cover it. So, we're getting straight in the video, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and let's go. Now, people, we are waiting patiently to see what the transfer business will be, if any, as it relates to Manchester United. And trust me, we are in need of players to bolster the squad, and we want to see what Ineos' second window will be like, especially that now we have a new manager. And I know I'm stalling on the breaking news. The big deal that it's upon us is that possibly Kobbie Mainoo will be sold in this window, or possibly in the summer window. And I want to know your thoughts below. So boy, possibly selling Kobbie Mainoo. Now, remember I said earlier on in the channel that there are just few players in the squad that we need to move forward with. And previously I was saying Mainoo should be included, Lenny Oro, and possibly Garnacho. Now, I said earlier on that I would possibly sell Garnacho because this system doesn't suit him. But to say that you're listing Kobbie Mainoo is a mistake. Now, regardless if we're going through FFP issues, there is different ways to skin the cat. And selling one of the possible cornerstone players in the team is a big mistake by Ineos. Now, I mean, Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund and the rest of the crew, the young crew, to be quite frank, Højlund to me, I have always advocated that he has potential. And I'm saying this to say, to be quite frank, if we're going to seek him as the go-to man going forward in his current state, he's not dependable as a striker. So if the club wants to sell him, we just have to do what we have to do. But a player like Kobbie Mainoo, who is one of our better midfield players, better progressors, better ball handlers, to sell a player like that, regardless of our financial issues, is a mistake. It's not as though he's old and his best days are behind. There are better days to come. And I mean, selling him for whatever price, he's just 19 years old, is a big blunder by Ineos. And trust me, people are saying, wow, Ineos made decent signings in the summer. And I'm going to criticize and say it's false. Now, for Man United to get rid of their FFP problem, there's lots of players in the squad who are causing us to be in this financial crisis. Such players are Eriksen, Anthony, Casemiro, Victor Lindelof. I don't remember all of them off the bat, but those 4 players that I just listed are supposed to be priority outgoings for Ineos. Yes, we can say it is difficult to get rid of these players. But have you guys ever heard about the term penny wise and pound foolish? Right now, Ineos looks like they're penny wise and pound foolish. Because yes, we just have to quit and suffer the losses and the consequences to get out those players, because at least their wages are off the books. And we'll probably get a little bit of a transfer fee for each of these players. But there is no way, shape, or form we are going to get rid of Kobbie Mainoo before we get rid of these 4 Deadwood players. It doesn't make sense. And boy, I want to talk about Ineos, because a lot of us were saying Ineos would make things different. But is that so? Now, on the topic of Ineos, now, it's now a little bit over a year since they took over, and to analyze their performance. Now, they have gotten in the Dan Ashworths, They've gotten in the Omar Baradas and those people who have somewhat of a name in the football business, right? And to be quite frank, I would say the Mazraoui transfer is a decent one. Delete, to me, he's 50-50. Lenioro, I'm seeing quality, I'm seeing good potential. Who else we got? Ugarte, I would say he is a solid midfielder. So, and then Xerxes. So, really and truly, the Ineos signings thus far are hit and miss. It's 50-50. But what I'm saying is, the job is not yet complete. But to get rid of a cornerstone player like Kobbie Mainoo is going to be a big mistake. Right? I know there are other talks who are saying that he reportedly wants to receive $200,000 a week. Now, I don't think he's even earning half of that currently. But Ineos, you need to think about these stuff before you act. Because cashing in, and I even forgot about Rashford. Cashing in on Kobbie Mainoo, a player who is the future of Manchester United, is a big mistake. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am very set aback by the way Ineos is approaching stuff now. And I know them putting their trust in Erik ten Hag last season and stuff backfired. And hence, that was what led to the sacking of Dan Ashworth also. But at the same time, people, Ineos to me doesn't look like they're making good decisions. And I hope I'm wrong, because players that we need to keep in the squad who I am seeing them flourish under Amarim is Amad Diallo, Kobbie Mainoo, Manu Ugarte, and Lenioro for the future. Those 4 players is who we need to build a squad around. Now, everybody else, Ineos can decide what to do with them as it goes by. And another thing why I'm criticizing Ineos today to really say it looks like a job for them, because the other day we heard about the raising ticket prices, and this was during us not getting good results on the pitch, right? They sacked the so-called best English player recruiter in Dan Ashworth a few months into his appointment. They extended Erik ten Hag, which, again, I would not have extended his contract, excuse me, but I would have allowed him this season, and then at the end of it, if the shit didn't hit the fan, I would make my decision either now or at the end of this season. But they extended it. Now they had to pay money to sack him, and now they had to pay money to appoint Amarim and his crew. So looking on how Ineos is operating thus far, what is the difference between Ineos and the Glazers? Right? To me, there's not much of a difference so far, because just like the Glazers, they would have extended the contract of a manager and then sacked them a little bit after. The recruitment, again, doesn't seem to be much improved, right? 3 players out of the 5 that we brought in, they look like good enough players, but it's still early days, right? Xerxes is very underwhelming, right? Delete, he's not a bad signing, but he hasn't stamped his class yet. And why I'm saying this to you guys, they sacked ten Hag, right? They knew the profile of players that they brought in, which was to suit a ten Hag-based system, a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 based system. And when they sacked him, they got in a manager who plays a completely different system. So now it's forcing me to really deeply think as it relates to, does Ineos really know what they're doing, or they're just getting a specific kind of player, players that are good in potential, right? Doing decent in their respective teams across Europe. And then, oh, if my manager here is not doing well, we're just going to get the next upcoming or a trending manager. To me, that is a trend I have observed with Ineos so far, right? So, to really make my conclusion on Ineos, they're not much better than the Glazers so far. Now, in conclusion, ladies and gentlefolks, I would say before Ineos decides to sell the Kobbie Mainoos and the Garnachos, right? You have to get rid of Anthony, who is not pulling his weight in a United jersey. You have to get rid of Victor Lindelof, who for me, he's good on the ball, but everything else as it relates to defending, he's not up to standard in my opinion. You have to get rid of a washed Casemiro, and you have to also get rid of a washed Eriksen. These players have to leave the club before even the thought of selling Kobbie Mainoo comes to mind. Right? Also, we have to get players in that fits the system of this new manager. Because, again, all the players that even we're linked with, it's not a guarantee that they will suit the Ruben Amorim system, right? So also, it cannot just be, oh, we are in charge of who is recruited, and Amorim just has to make wine out of water. They have to make recruitments that suits his system. So again, I want to see if Ineos has that ability to identify talent who fits the system. So, in conclusion, people, I need to see Ineos take steps and stop being penny wise and pound foolish, because selling Kobbie Mainoo because it's difficult to get rid of the deadwood is not intelligent by the club. Because if Kobbie Mainoo goes anywhere else in Europe and shines, Manchester United, aka Ineos, will look stupid. So, again, ladies and gentlefolks, we hope they make the best credible and beneficial decision for the club. Now, ladies and gentlefolks, that was my insight of what is the occurrence currently in the transfer window for United. We have not signed anybody as usual. We are linked with several players across Europe. So it's yet for us to see, right? I highlighted we need to sign an Osimhen or Gyökeres. We should sign a Ederson, which is a midfielder, or a Dani Olmo. I said that also. And we need to find a centre-back signing who understands the three at the back in the Amorim system. So that is our priority in the window, right? Whichever window it is. And if we're talking about FFP, get rid of Deadwood before touching Kobbie Mainoo. Now, guys, like, subscribe, and share this video and the channel. So I will see you guys in the next one. I'm signing off and I'm out.